Good evening, everyone. It is 7:32. We have a quorum with the exception of one of our trustees. So I am going to call to order the October 9th meeting of the New Rochelle Board of Trustees at 7:32 PM. And we are going to start, there's an attendance sheet that will be going around, and we will start with the Pledge of Allegiance, please. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you all. I will. There is no executive session this evening, and so I will turn it over to, well, no, I'm actually going to make a resolution to adopt the agenda. Everyone should have an agenda in front of them for tonight's meeting. It is our normal agenda. You will have a moment to review. It was also in the board packet. So I'm going to make a motion to adopt the agenda for the October 9th meeting. May I get a second?
I'll second.
Seconded by Rhiannon. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Great, motion passes. And for the approval of minutes, I'll turn it over to our secretary, Rhiannon.
Yes, the meeting minutes for our September 11th board meeting were shared ahead of time with the board, with the entire board. And so I would like to make a motion to approve the minutes of the September 11th board meeting. May I have a second? I'll second.
Seconded by Nancy.
Are there any questions, concerns? I do what you.
So all in favor? Aye. Any opposed? All right. The minutes for the September 11th meeting have been approved. And now we would like to start with regular business and turn it over to our Westchester Library System representative, David Menner.
Good evening, everybody. So a few things to talk about from over the summer. So in terms of the interlibrary loan, which all the member libraries utilize, WLS currently engages with a delivery service provider that facilitates the movement of library materials between member library locations into the WLS office and ultimately delivery to the member library of choice for the patron. Currently, the service operates 6 days a week and is vital to the interlibrary loan program. The contract currently expires the end of December, and we're vetting potential vendors to either renew with the current business or to seek alternative sources. In terms of state aid for public library construction, so a total of $44 million is approved for the public library construction aid program for the fiscal year 2025 to 2026, as we've previously talked about. And WLS specifically was allocated $2,072,494. A total of 16 applications were received. 6 applications were recommended their maximum allocation of 50%, including New Rochelle. So congratulations, the guys did a great job. Which included construction for a new roof, an upgrade to the main and second floor door hardware, access controls, acoustic baffles in the children's room, and ADA compliant door handles. The committee members had reviewed and approved the construction project applications on September 15th, 2025, and construction has to be completed within 6 years per the grant stipulations. So for New Rochelle, for Huguenot, $175,000 were asked for and $96,250 were approved. And that was for the new roof. And then for the New Rochelle Main Library, $178,000, $610 were asked, and $98,236 were approved, and that was for the upgrade in the main and second floor door hardware, access controls, acoustic baffles, and ADA compliant door handles. So congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah.
David.
In terms of Evergreen service, so on August 26, 2025, WLS launched a new program called Unique's Message B service for sending available hold notifications to patrons by text. This seems to be successful, and since the launch, over 7,000 texts have been sent to library patrons, quoted as a 99% success rate, so it seems to be working. One of the major projects that the IT department completed this summer was the public computer rollout to participating libraries, including New Rochelle. So the new computer workstations now include the most recent version of Microsoft Office for public use and the new release of cybersecurity platform.
Mhm.
And then in terms of trustee education opportunities, October 30th, 2025, 6:30 to 8:30 p.m. This is in person at WLS headquarters. Sustainable fundraising strategies, demystifying incorporating planned giving, designated funds, and working with professional advisors. And then November 18th, 2025, from 5 to 6:30 p.m. This is online, Trustee Handbook Club. Next level trusteeship, building an effective and impactful board culture.
Thank you. And for the record, we do have a policy and all trustees have to do 2 hours of trustee training each year. So thank you for that. That'll be very helpful. Any questions for David from the report?
I have
Hello.
one question. I don't know if you'll know the answer to that,
Yeah.
but in looking for the new vendor for the interlibrary loan, is that something that they typically do at the end of every contract or?
We do.
They do?
Yeah,
Okay.
it is challenging to actually find vendors for it.
Yeah.
It's a very challenging job. So in past years, sometimes there's only been one vendor that has applied and the deal has to be struck, so to speak. This year, there actually were multiple vendors, so there's potentially some choice in the matter. We may still ultimately go with our current vendor, but we'll sort of see what each vendor has to offer.
Thank you.
That's helpful. Thanks. Any other questions, David? Thank you. We're moving on to the president's report. And we're setting a new precedent and a new tradition and habit in the at our meeting. So I'm very happy for this meeting that we have a few New Rochelle staff members who are joining us. Michael Abruzzi, Sandra Perez, and I don't think that Marta Santiago is here. Oh, she's working. Oh, since she can't step in, couldn't she do that? That would be nice. We're gonna pause for a second for the meeting so we can get our our colleague, well, our library staff person. Thank you. Oh, actually, in the meantime, while we're waiting, one of the things I will note is that as part of our credit card policy that the board has passed, as you all know, each time there is an employee who needs to use the credit card, they will be asked to sign an employee agreement. And so we have, we're going to pause on that too, and we're going to circle back. Okay. Hello, Marta. Thank you for joining us. We're glad that you're able to be here. So Michael, Sandra, and Marta, welcome to the meeting. So we, as I mentioned before Marta had come, this is a new kind of tradition that we're doing and it's a very nice one to bring staff in. So Michael, Sandra, and Marta have officially they will have their official announcements and appointments during the Personnel Committee meeting, but I did want to say a few words about them first. And we are pleased to introduce, as I said, the new tradition, and Eugenia will talk more in her director's report, but these are full-time hires to attend board meetings when their employment appointments are approved and they have promotions. So if you could just stand when I just mention and talk about you. Michael Abruzzi is being promoted to maintenance tradesperson. Sandra Perez is being promoted to senior clerk, administrative and circulation. And Marta Santiago is being promoted to senior clerk for circulation. And so we as a board, thank you for all of the work. I know that, Michael and I have seen each other early in the morning and different times. And Sandra and I have seen each other on the weekends and different events. And Marta, it's very nice to see you and meet you here at the board meeting. But, it is your work and your dedication to this library and the work that you do that allows us to do what we do. and that allows the library to serve all of the people in the community to meet their needs. So we thank you so much. We congratulate you on your promotions. Thank you, Marta, for taking time from your job to come here for this. You can be seated now. So, and it will be officially approved shortly, but wanted to thank you. We also have a retirement of a long-term staff member, Donna Rutano, who is not here this evening. She's retired from her position as senior clerk in the circulation department, and that concludes 25 years of dedicated service to the library. So Donna, if you are listening, we want to thank you for that. Donna played a key role in co-managing daily operations at the library. She was known for her reliability and kindness and her commitment to both her colleagues and the library's patrons. And so on behalf of the board, I would like to extend, Donna, our heartfelt thanks again to you for your years of service. Again, it is contributions like Donna's, like Michael, like Sandra, like Marta. It's these contributions, along with all of the colleagues here at the library, that really are the foundation of the library's day-to-day operations and its success in providing all that we do for our community. So again, thank you to Donna for her service, and congratulations to you all. Before I turn it over to Eugenia, who will tell us a bit more, just getting back to a bit of official business. As I was mentioning before, we have a credit card policy that we've passed, obviously, and part of that policy is that anytime an employee needs to use the library's credit card, they must sign an agreement and acknowledgement that has to be passed by the board members. We have 3 employee agreements and acknowledgements for the use of the credit card. The first is for Janelle Robinson, our Assistant Director. The second is for Michael Abruzzi, our newly appointed staff member. And the third is for James Vasquez, the Head of Facilities. And so I would like to make a motion for the approval of these employee agreements for the use of the credit card. May I get a second?
I'll second.
Seconded by Falah. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Great, motion passes. All right, and that is the conclusion of my president's report. I am turning it over to our director, who I should have mentioned earlier is joining us via Zoom. It is a voice that we will hear joining us in absentia, but we are happy to have Eugenia deliver the president's report.
Director's report.
The director's report, right? It's, it's a long day, so there we go. So
Yes.
thank you, the director's
Yeah.
report. Hello,
Thank
Eugenia.
you. Hello, good evening. I'm glad I actually can see all of you and you can't see me, but I can see all of you via Zoom and I can see myself via Zoom. And so I thank you, Lucille, for the really warm introduction for our staff members. I am so glad that we were able to have this homegrown in-house talent that we could reward and work together to continue to grow and evolve the library. So Mike Abruzzi was promoted from laborer to maintenance tradesman in the department. He has over 15 years of service, and he's consistently demonstrated a strong work ethic, reliability, and commitment to the library's operations. In this new role, he will be reporting to Facility Director James Vasquez, and it will assist in supervising and supporting the laborer team. So this was formerly Rob Florence's position, who retired in the beginning of this calendar year. Marta Santiago being promoted to senior clerk within the circulation department. So she began her career at the library as a circulation clerk in October of 2013, and she has been a key member of the team ever since. She's known for her attentiveness to patrons, helpful nature, strong attention to detail, and she brings valuable experience and dedication, as well as being a Spanish-speaking staff member, which is of great help to us. And finally, Sandra Perez was promoted to senior clerk. So this is a full-time position for her, and she's splitting her time between the administrative offices and the circulation department. She joined the library in May 2021 as an hourly library assistant, and she has contributed to creating a welcoming and inclusive environment for all patrons. And so we're also excited that in her capacity with part of her circulation duties, we will have another Spanish-speaking staff member in the circulation department. I also wanted to take a moment in my director's report to thank everybody. I reached my 1 year anniversary on October 1st. And so I wanted to take a moment to thank everybody, most importantly, the trustees who I've worked so closely with, all of the tremendous committee work the trustees are doing, Lucille Renwick as board president. Thank you all for such a wonderful year. There's been a lot of learning, growth, meaningful connections. And I think that together we've made great strides, and looking ahead, I'm excited about everything we can accomplish together. And part of that growth and future accomplishment is going to be assisted and aided by all of these meaningful staff changes and promotions that we're able to make. We're growing our team. We're growing New Rochelle Library to continue to be such a vital and valued part of our community. And one final little piece of business, which was in my written director's report, to confirm that NILAF, the New York Liquid Asset Funds, so that was originally the account that the trustees had voted in February to open an account with. That institution was absorbed by NICLAS. So if you see the words NICLAS, that is what NILAF became. And so we've opened an account with them, and we're transferring capital funds. The capital funds that the board authorized to be transferred in October are being transferred into that account. And currently the interest rate being earned by that account is 4.1%, which is a wonderful percentage for us, and a wise and prudent way to grow some more of our capital funds. I wanted to also thank David Menner for all his help with the New York State Public Library construction grants. We were very pleased to hear the grant monies that we received, and are looking forward to instituting those projects. This is a 6-year grant cycle, so we have a little bit more time than in years past to be able to complete these. And also the roof project for Huguenot Library has been flagged by WLS, wherein if the system receives more money, that would be a project that they would commit additional funds to. So thank you, David, for all the work that you do with WLS and for helping to advocate for us in this grant cycle.
Pleasure.
Thank you. Thanks, Eugenia. And I just want to pause for also a second, because I did for I think we mentioned it in September, but I think it bears repeating that it's just amazing to think that it's been 1 year since Eugenia's been here. It has felt very short, and also like she's been here for quite a while. There's such an immense amount of work that has been done in this past year by Eugenia, and by the work that we as a board have been able to do with you, Eugenia, in just the goal to continuously improve the library and the protocols and the systems and the processes. That is what we signed up for, and we are really doing the work and rolling up our sleeves. And that is a testament to your dedication to your work, and continuously trying to make New Rochelle Library the best that it can be. So thank you for that, and we look forward to working with you many, many years in the future.
Thank you so
Uh,
much.
Thank you. We do not yet have a treasurer. We look forward to when we will have one to provide us with a treasurer's report. So we are moving on then to our board committee reports. And so the first is our Budget and Finance Committee report to Rhiannon.
Yes, this is this is the attendance.
Yeah. Okay, thank you.
Jackson Morris comes later, okay. Budget committee met on September 24th. And we discussed the treasurer hiring process, which we're now in our second round of interviews. The first posting, the first round didn't yield any candidates. And so we're now in the second round, and we are having a very promising pool of candidates. So we're looking forward to moving along the process and hopefully hiring a treasurer very soon. Our legal counsel, Stephanie Cole Adams, attended our committee meeting and gave a brief overview of the money in, money out presentation that she gave to library staff where she educated them about money handling procedures and responsibilities. And our library director, Eugenia Shatov, spoke about the independent audit that the library is going to be conducting this year, and that there will be, in addition to the general audit, there will be an internal control audit, which will give us a good overview of current money handling procedures. And we are working on a set of fiscal policies that we will be working on with the new treasurer, and that will be shared with the policy committee and then brought to the full board down the road. The next meeting will be, the next budget committee meeting will be on October 22nd at 8:30 a.m.
Great. Thank you, Rhiannon. Any questions for Rhiannon? No? All right, thank you. The next committee is Buildings and Grounds. Our colleague Corey Galloway is unable to attend tonight's meeting, so there's no report. We will have a report from Corey and on the committee's work at our November board meeting. And so we'll move on to community relations, Nancy and Vera.
Well, the Community
Oh, you
Relations,
need to move that closer.
the Community Relations Committee did not meet in this session.
Okay.
But we're developing the protocols for our work.
Developing protocols for what?
Oh, we're meeting, it's the fourth Monday of October, the 27th.
You have to lean into the mic and speak to the mic.
We'll be meeting next 2 weeks Monday, so it'll be the 27th.
Okay, great. So next meeting, Monday, October 27th.
Yeah.
Great.
Sorry, for the minutes, can you just say you're developing protocols for?
For the work of the committee.
Great. Thank you both. Personnel Committee, Tatiana.
Hello, please bear with me. It's a lot. The Personnel Committee met on September 24, and we're talk about the continued work that we're doing with transitioning to the automatic payroll system. Also, congratulations once again to Marta, Sandra, and Mike on your well-deserved advancements. I have a few resolutions to go through, so the first resolution is number 007 2025 1014, and it's the review and update of employee job descriptions. So, whereas the board has instructed the library's executive director to assess operations with an eye to demonstrable compliance, efficiency, and consistency with the strategic objectives, and whereas compliance, efficiency, and consistency with the strategic objectives require clarity in employee job descriptions, and whereas examination shows that many job descriptions have not been evaluated for accuracy and compliance in many years, and be it resolved that the board directs the executive director to develop and oversee a plan to review and update all job descriptions in a manner consistent with all civil service and other legal considerations, and be it further resolved that such update should be coordinated with the ongoing development and implementation of an updated plan for routine employee evaluations. May I
You want to, so we have a resolution and we need a second,
Yes.
seconded by Vera. And this is a resolution that is again for, can you give the title of it, please?
The review and update of employee job
Job
descriptions.
Great, thank you. We have a motion and a second. Are there any questions or concerns?
Wait a second, sorry.
Vera, you have a second. Other than that, are there any questions with regard to the resolution? May I put it up to a vote? All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? All right.
I
Resolution
have
passes.
another resolution.
Yep.
Resolution number 008 2025 1014. And it's the compensation practices and clarification of overtime eligibility. Whereas the board has instructed the library's executive director to assess fiscal operations with an eye to demonstrable compliance, efficiency, and consistency with strategic objectives. And whereas part of that effort have been to implement use of ADP for the recording of hours worked by employees. And whereas the implementation of ADP has required the standardization of compensation models for hourly employees. And whereas in most instances, this has helped ensure documentation and compensation consistent with the requirements of the collective bargain agreement. However, it has also revealed some past practice inconsistent with board policy and or expectations. Be it resolved that the board directs the executive director identify past inconsistent practice, and if corrections going forward could result in confusion, issue short clarifications. And be it further resolved that the first such short clarification should be a confirmation that the overtime pay for summer Saturday work does not apply to part-time, non-union employees. Make a motion.
Yes, motion. And may I get the motion seconded, please? Seconded by Nancy. Any questions with regard to the resolution on compensation practice regarding overtime eligibility? This is an important process that we had to go through for the committee. Thank you.
And
Question.
the last,
Oh, questions? No? Okay, so I will put it up for a vote. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Okay. Resolution passes.
And the last thing, the approved consent agenda for the personal resolutions, number 2025, 10, 1 through 7, according to the recommended action for each item, although trustees have that in the packet before the meeting.
Okay. And so again, this is the resolution,
For the personal
the
resolution.
personnel resolutions. Okay. Yep. So may I get a second? These are the personnel resolutions, and in these resolutions, it also includes the promotions and the changes and the staff changes. So this, Sandra, Marta, and Michael, well, Marta's not here, but Martin has, this is what's making it official. So we have the resolution for the personnel changes. May I get a second?
Second.
Seconded by Vera. Any questions or concerns? All in favor? Aye. Aye. It's official.
Alright.
Congratulations.
So our
Okay.
next meeting is scheduled to be for October 20th
October 20th.
at 9 a.m.
Okay, thank you.
That's it. Thank you.
All right. We're moving on to the policy committee.
Thank you. The policy committee met this month, on Monday, October the 6th at 9 a.m. And we discussed several policies. We've been very busy this year. And one of the things that I just wanted to bring to everyone on the policy committee knows this, but this may, kind of like externally, it's very important for us to have our policies in place and to constantly look at them. Policy is not something that is set in stone, and that it's something that's living. So as things change or conditions change, policies change. So it's on, it's not just the goal, but it's the responsibility of the board to constantly take a look at our policies and to go through them. And then where there are holes or where we think something can be implemented better, that we then we create new policy. So with that being said, there's 4 different policies that were shared with the board for adoption today. I'm gonna kind of give a very brief description of each one.
Yes, and they're also in the board packets
They're
that
in
you
the
have
board
in front of
packet,
you.
correct. So the first policy is the teen room policy. I will say this is a revision of a policy that was created in 2017. It's very important for us to define not just like who is actually using the teen room, who's allowed in the teen room, the purpose of it, and then also there's a code of conduct that's being shared with our young patrons as well. Our staff, I would like to commend the staff for their notes on this, and then also even in creating a QR code that I had to update, but still, it's like to have something like that and understand that that technology is much more useful for our young patrons, for our teen patrons, is something that that's really where the work that we do as a board goes hand in hand with the work that the staff, the employees here at the library do as well. So, with that being said, I believe everyone had a chance to review this, policy. So I would like to make a motion that, that the board adopts the revision to the New Rochelle Public Library Teen Room Policy. May I have a second?
Seconded by Tatiana. Are there any questions or concerns with regard to the teen room policy that has been updated and is quite robust? Thank you to the policy committee for all of its work. No, okay, I'm going to ask for a vote. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Policy is approved. Thank you.
Moving on to the second policy, that we presented to the board, prior to the meeting. And that's, on the site, on the website and in the board packet. The next one is our partnership policy. And I'm smiling while I say this because it's really important for libraries, and specifically New Rochelle Public Library, to encourage and to welcome partnerships with a lot of our different organizations, with our businesses, individuals, and community groups. It's really, you know, as a lot of people recognize the library being the cornerstone of a lot of communities, or one cornerstone of many communities, it's these partnerships that make us even stronger. So this policy really seeks to formalize these partnerships. And one of the most important reasons why you want to have this is that you don't ever want to lose institutional knowledge. So by having a form that's completed by our partner and by the library, we're defining our goals, our common goals and objectives, who are the points of contact and so forth. So this is really, I'm really excited that we're passing this. So with that being said, I would like to make a motion that the board accepts and adopts the partnership policy.
Second.
Okay. Oh, I don't even need to
And
say it.
seconded by
Second.
Vera. All right.
Okay.
Thank you. Any questions or concerns with regard to the partnership policy? All right. Hearing none, I will ask for a vote. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Great. Policy passes. Thank you. On to the next.
Okay, so the next policy is the remote work policy. One thing to note about the remote work policy, this policy only applies to those employees who are not subject to a collective bargaining agreement or the CBA, so for non-union employees. For employees who are represented by the union, they should check with their current CBA. For remote work, this policy defines the types of remote work, and it also discusses remote work that might have to be done during a weather event or an emergency as well. It's very clearly explaining what some of the rules are, and also noting that remote work is not a substitute for sick leave or personal time. If you're sick, you should take sick leave. So with this policy, I think this will help to clearly define the rules around remote work, when a person is eligible for it, what types of, how to request it, and so forth. So with that being said, I'd like to make a motion that the board adopt the remote work policy.
Motion has been
May I
made.
have-
May I get a second?
Ma'am?
I'll second.
Seconded by Rhiannon. Is there any discussion, questions?
No?
I'm going to call for a vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? All right.
Okay. And the final policy that we're requesting, the policy committee is advancing or requesting that the board advance tonight, is the employee disability accommodation policy. So this is explaining when, if a employee needs a a disability accommodation, how they can go about requesting that, um, what sort of reasonable accommodations are available, and also how to report concerns. There's an accompanying parts to it, which are the employee accommodation request form and then an appeal form as well. I would like to make a motion that the board adopt the New Rochelle Public Library Employee Disability Accommodation Policy. May I have a second?
Seconded by Tatiana. Thank you, Fala. Are there any questions or concerns with regard to the disability accommodation policy? Hearing none, I'll call for a vote. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion passes. I just want to take a moment, the policy passes, sorry. I did want to take a moment and thank you, Fala, as the chair of the policy committee. All of us are doing a lot of work. Particularly the policy committee has been working, kind of almost like around the clock to not just get these policies in place, but there are, a dozen or more policies that have been passed this year that you're working on, and ensuring that we have just kind of a cadence of regular policies to ensure that there is clarity for our library staff and for partners and anyone who works with the library. And I really wanted to thank you and the policy committee for all the work that you've done. So thank you for that.
Thank you.
So we are moving on now to,
Oh,
yeah.
Oh,
Oh, I'm
sorry.
sorry. Was
So our
that the-
next, thank you. Our next policy meeting will be on November the 3rd, Monday, November the 3rd at 9 a.m.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. Sorry about that.
Mhm.
All right, we are moving on to the approval of checks and warrants and to our head of budget and finance, Rhiannon.
I would like to make a motion for the board to approve the warrants for the fiscal year 2025-2026, numbers 10, 11, and 12. May I have a second, please? Vera?
Seconded by Vera. Any questions or concerns? Okay. Hearing none, I'm going to ask for a vote. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Okay. Passes.
And we'll send the
And
sheet
was,
around to sign.
okay. And was there another, that was it, right, for the checks and warrants?
Yeah, that was.
Okay, great. All right, and do we have any additional resolutions that come before the board? All right, we are moving on, so we'll pass. There's no additional old business. There is some new business. And there are two items for the new business this evening. There is approval, this was in everyone's board packets, of the service level agreement contract with the Westchester Library System. This is for January 1st of 2026 until December 31st of the same year of 2026, in the amount of $192,149.84. It's a little slightly more than what was budgeted for, but we recognize that this increase was going to come. This service agreement is for a number of hardware, software support systems that the Westchester Library System provides to New Rochelle Public Library for our tech and computers. And so I am going to make a motion for the approval of the service level agreement with Westchester Library System for the 2026 calendar year. May I get a second? Seconded by Tatiana. Okay, thank you, Tatiana. Any questions with regard to the service level agreement? Nope, this is an annual agreement that we have, so thank you for that. Hearing none, I'm going to call for a vote. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Great, thank you. The second order of business, the new business, is the approval of the closing schedule for 2026. That was also in the board packets, and I will not go through the entire year. I will give an overview of, I believe that it is the main holidays for holiday closures that begin with New Year's Day, Martin Luther King Day, President's Day, Mother's Day, Memorial Day, Independence Day, Labor Day, Columbus Day, Veterans Day, Thanksgiving, the day after Thanksgiving, and Christmas. And there are a couple of other days in there, all Sundays in June, July, and August of 2026. Fall Sunday hours will begin September 13th, and the library will close at noon on December 21st and 1 p.m. on December 31st of 2026. So even though I said I wasn't going to go through it, I did just for clarity.
December.
So I am going to
It's
December 24th.
Right.
Yes, it closes at noon. Yes. So I'm going to make a motion for approval of the 2026 holiday closures. May I get a second?
I'll second.
Thank you, Nancy, seconded by Nancy Weinberger. Any questions? Oh, okay. Hearing none, I could call for a vote. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Great. Thank you. And the motion passes. And so now it is our time for public comment. And hearing none, we will move on to adjournment. So I am going to make a motion for us to adjourn the October 9th meeting of the Board of Trustees. It is 8:13 p.m. May I get a second?
I'll second.
Nobody wants to leave. Seconded by Tatiana. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? No? All right. We are calling the meeting at 8:13 p.m. Thank you, everybody, and good night, and congratulations again.